we were talking about cheating death.
Yeah, cheating the old Grim Reaper.
Yep, because saw this deal on the Roy guy last night, Siegfried and Roy, you know, almost bled out completely when he got bit in the neck.
We mentioned how much blood the human body has. Uncle George Googled and has an answer for us about exactly how much blood is in all of our bodies.
Approximately 6 quarts.
6 quarts, and I believe if our math is right, 12 pints. That's 12 pints.
Yeah.
And how many gallons?
Gallon and a half.
Gallon and a half. So I'm just picturing a gallon jug of milk and then a half. That's how much blood is in our body. So this kid bled out?
Well, okay.
We were talking about a few minutes ago?
The kid in Florida bled out completely. He didn't have any blood in his system, they said, when they got him on the operating table, but they were still able to save his life.
It's amazing. How could that be? That's a miracle.
And then Roy bled out to, you said how many pints?
12 pints.
12 pints. He bled 11.5 pints of blood and was still saved.
Wow. That's cheating death. So, you know, I got my sandal caught underneath the brake in the accelerator a few years ago, and I'm not sure I cheated death, but my life did flash before my eyes. And that alone made me wish I was dead. DC, did you say you cheated death?
I skydived. Yeah, and he was playing with me, and he wouldn't open the chute.
I know that Smitty on our show, he cheats death each and every day.
Yes, that's right.
Comes down here.
What do you do, Smitty?
What happened to you?
Well, a couple years ago, I was about 18. I was on a road trip with a couple of my buddies down to Phoenix, Arizona, and we were on Interstate 40, and it was dark, it was night, and I didn't know.
Typically it is.
Right.
They go hand in hand.
Well, I didn't know, but Arizona and New Mexico gets blizzards, and I had no idea. That's in the desert. And it was in the middle of a blizzard, and it was snow all over the road, and I was in the bed of a truck. With my other friend, we had sleeping bags. We would sleep back there.
I think I read
trade
this
off
in the
driving.
Penthouse Forum.
No, stop it. You were just riding in the bed of the truck.
In the bed of the truck, it had a camper shell on it. And we were going about 70 miles an hour, and then I noticed we weren't really going straight anymore. We were going sideways.
That's slang for something nasty.
And I looked behind me out the windshield, and I saw the side of the road, and then it got bumpy.
Oh, yeah.
And what happened after that?
Don't ask, DC.
Smith.
Then I don't remember anything.
Good.
Then really I noticed the truck flipped, and then I don't remember anything until.
But is it true you woke up sore and the Vaseline jar was empty?
Stop it.
Right?
Oh,
You heard this before?
Stop it.
No, but
You've
then
heard that old joke.
the truck was on its side when I woke up.
Have you ever heard?
So were you.
Have you ever heard of that black ice? Do you know what that is? Black ice.
Is that okay, Timmy P? Are we okay with that? I just want to make sure. I mean, he's kind of our litmus here on the show for. Is that the black ice? Is that black ice?
Why is it always got to be about black people?
Black ice, have you heard of that? That's what almost killed Metallica. They were in their bus, and the driver didn't. That's that ice that you can't even see.
Right, on the asphalt.
You can't see it at all, and that nearly killed all the guys in Metallica. Their bus flipped over.
So now black people are invisible? What is this all about? I quit!
All right, thank you.
Yeah, so you survived, but you feel as if you cheated death.
Yeah, well, the truck flipped 5 times. The camper shell stayed on it.
All right. Now,
Stayed on it, the camper shell.
Intern Katie here on the Stephen DC radio show, and she's doing a wonderful job. Katie, your work is not going unnoticed.
No,
Oh,
not at all.
thank you very much.
Her husband, now this is when you know you've cheated death. When you end up with a toe tag.
Oh, my.
Whoa, he was toe
I
tagged?
think we have a winner.
Wait a minute.
He cheated death.
They put the tag on his toe?
Intern Katie's husband, Chris, is going to tell us about it. Yep, had a toe tag.
Well, then it's over at that point.
Yeah.
Chris, good morning.
Chris, you win the prize, bro.
Oh, thanks.
What happened?
I guess I was just about to turn 5 years old. Actually, I was getting ready to be released from the hospital, but all of a sudden I had birth defects, and what had happened is my kidneys had just shut down completely, and I was on the operating table, and at the point they decided there was nothing they could do, and my heart stopped, my brain activity had stopped, and they put me in the hallway with a sheet over my head, put a tack on my toe. And
Chris, you said you were 5 years old?
Just about, from what my mom tells me, I was just about to turn 5 years old at the time.
Mm-hmm. Now, how much of this do you remember?
All of it.
You do remember? Do you remember? I mean, did you open your eyes and there was a sheet over your head and a tag on your toe?
Yes.
Oh my God!
Wow, that'd be terrible.
So, what do you remember about it?
Well, I remember the part of waking up, but don't remember. The only thing I remember, like, it's a little fuzzy, obviously, but what I do remember about the death part, and this is going to sound funny, but honestly, I do remember some light, and then I remember blinking my eyes, waking up, and asking for something to eat.
Really? Now, some people have said, and this is logical, it makes some sense.
A bright light.
Some people have said the bright light is, well, if you're in an operating room, there's one right above you. You know, in most cases, there's a bright light right there.
About that.
But I will tell you that off the air, I want you to know, Chris, that your lovely wife, Katie, said your brain activity has not returned, in fact.
Of course not. I'm a drummer.
Well, there you go.
You're a drummer queen.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Drummer queen.
Don't believe a word he says, honey.
Yes.
Now, listen, Chris, I have to ask you, the least the hospital could do is give you the toe tag for your scrapbook. Do you have the toe tag?
Actually, my mom has the unfinished death certificate.
Oh,
my God.
That's creepy.
Yeah.
You, my friend, definitely cheated death. There's no doubt about it. Wow.
Well, it's when when they put me in the hallway, they rolled me out there, and like you said about the light, people saying, well, that's, for the operating room. Well, I was in the hallway, and it was dark, obviously, because I was in the hallway that was about 8 to 20 steps away from the morgue. I mean, they were getting ready to put me in the morgue in about 10, 20 minutes.
Wow.
And they were calling my parents to let them know that I had died. And then I just popped up and said, I'm really hungry. Where's my mommy? And
that's kind of funny that the first thing you want to do was eat.
Yeah, and then all the nurses turned whiter than their uniforms and fully lost their minds. And
I guess.
So, and here I am 30 years later, thank God, so.
God for that.
If we had a prize of some kind, if we were giving something away.
Well, we'll have intern Katie take something home, Chris.
You'd be the winner.
Chris, thank you.
I have a prize. I have Katie.
There you go. I would agree. Oh, you're beautiful. I would agree. She's a keeper. You made her throw up. Thanks, Chris. Hey, Susie's got one. This is kind of creepy.
And then I want to tell you that I'm being told in my earpiece, left ear, that intern Josh's story will blow everyone away.
Really?
That everyone will be blown away.
All right. Well, they say we need to take one more call because he needs a few more minutes to finish making up the story. And then...
Hey, Susie, go ahead.
Happy New Year.
Hey. Hi. How are y'all this
You're
morning?
not still doing the Happy New Year thing, are you?
Yes, I am. Okay. Yes, for my Chinese friends.
I was calling because my father was reported killed in action in World War II.
Yes, ma'am.
And my mother actually got a telegram from her congressman saying he was killed in action, and she got a little, looked like a little casket thing that had the two Purple Hearts, the Purple Heart and the other thing, because he was actually wounded twice. Mm-hmm. But she didn't know until she got a letter from him about 2 weeks later. He was in a hospital in England that he was living.
Wow. Now, that would freak you out, to be told that, and then you try to put this loved one the best you can. You try to put things in place, and you find out they're alive again.
Go ahead and marry your boyfriend.
Stop it. Stop it. Do you remember the story? We had the guy, Roanoke, Virginia, we had the guy on our show that, you remember his whole family, they were told he had died. He was in some kind of accident. His whole family was called and told that he had died, and they needed to come to the hospital to say goodbye, even though he was dead. And actually, we didn't have him on the show. We had one of the family members on the show, and they said when they got there, he'd been dead like 40 minutes. When they all got to the hospital, he sat up, spoke to them, said goodbye,
and died,
and then died again.
Wow. My father, when he passed away, he said that about 3 hours before he actually died. Told us to gather all the kids and the grandkids around. He wanted to tell them all goodbye.
So he knew he was dying.
He knew, yeah.
Yeah, but this guy had been dead for like 30 minutes, clinically dead, sat up to talk to his family, and then died again.
And, George, your dad passed away of cancer?
Lung cancer. Yeah.
Lung cancer.
Mm-hmm. Wow. All right.
Now, it is time, ladies and gentlemen.
Watch out.
Intern Josh is going to come, and he's going to wrap up the cheated death segment here this morning.
Smoking.
This is good.
Okay. All right, Josh, what do you got?
All right. I've you know about my other job I got with this restaurant gig, and
working in a cafe.
I've gone through just about everything with this job. When I first started out, I was nearly maimed to death at work.
Maimed?
Nearly maimed to death.
Now, what do you mean by maimed?
Okay. At this job I got, we also have 4 regulation bowling lanes there.
Oh, my goodness.
My first
this
day,
is some cafe.
Is my first day there, this lady comes up to me and says she's got a bowling ball stuck at the end of her lane. So I go out there.
Let me tell you something. I see exactly where this is going, as does everyone else. That is not the way you want to die, because people, even though death is tragic and oftentimes sad, people would laugh when they heard if that had happened.
And thank God, as you pointed it out, these are regulation bowling lanes.
Look, even friends, family, and loved ones, when people had to announce, well, Josh passed away. Oh, my God, so young, so tragic. What happened? Well, he took an 8-pound ball to the face.
No.
People would snicker.
No.
So the woman, she says to you, I've got an 8-pound ball stuck in my lane.
Yeah,
What do you do?
So I go down there, and sure enough, it's right there at the end of the lane, not being returned. So I go down there, and as I'm walking down there, I get underneath the table setter that sets the pins, not down at the very end of the lane. Down there. And not realizing, break the laser that sends down the sweeper, sweeps me all the way back into the conveyor belt, right off my feet, knocks me down.
You were swept off your feet, and then you took an 8-pound ball to the face.
No, it knocks me down into the lane, sweeps me all the way back into this conveyor belt. The conveyor belt pushes me towards this big board with all these nails sticking out of it because it holds the balls and pins so they can get back up. So
wait, I saw this same thing in Jason versus Freddy.
He came out as a bowling pin.
You've been swept off your feet by the sweeper. You're on a conveyor belt headed towards
nails.
Some kind of nail bed.
Right. At this time, my life starts flashing before my eyes.
Wait, how quickly? What do you see?
I see my birth. I see like my first bicycle and
You're making this up, aren't you?
Yeah. No, but seriously, so I'm clawing my way back up into the boards there, onto solid ground. I'm trying to get back up.
Are the other people there at the cafe / alley? Are they aware of what's going on?
I was the only one. I was the only one working at my station, so none of the other workers saw what I was doing.
Were they laughing? Were they frightened?
Oh, they didn't see. But the lady that told me her ball was stuck was just she was in hysterics. She was just laughing her socks off there.
Were you screaming?
I didn't know what to do. I was grunting. I was trying to get out of there. I was finally I get back.
What's that going to do for you? Somebody help me!
I didn't have time to scream.
Somebody help!
And I get back up there on solid ground when the pin setter comes down and drops bowling pins all over my body, all over my head. I caught a concussion that day.
If we had this on video, we could win some money.
The pin setter grabs the pin, starts snatching at my shirt, yanks me back up, starts grabbing at my skin and all my shirt.
This is a true story.
This is a true story.
Oh my goodness.
Snatches me up. I'm like hanging up there like this. Just snatches me up, like pinching at my skin. My arms and hands are all bloody by now. And I get down. I'm able to just yank my arm out. I jump out and I roll out. In one hand, I got the lady's ball, and Josh, the other hand, I've got the rest of my shirt.
What period of time are we talking? How long did all this take?
That was about probably 6 months ago.
No.
No. It's like it was about 2 years ago.
No.
He is lying.
Why does it change from 6 months to 2 years? It's like a half second.
So listen, how long from the time you got swept off your feet to when you almost hit the bed of nails?
It was about 5 minutes.
There you go.
It was about 5 minutes there. Finally, I get out. I have the bowling ball in one hand, the rest of my shirt in the other, and I look down. The lady is just laughing at me hysterically.
Well, rightly so, because you know.
Did she say thank you for getting my ball?
No.
Did you say, here's your freaking ball?
I didn't say anything.
And did you finish your shift?
Yes.
Like a good employee.
I just got some Band-Aids and figured the rest out.
Wow. So is that the most frightened you've ever been?
That was the scariest thing that had ever happened to me. Getting maimed by a bowling lane.
Sounds terribly frightening. Wow.
I bet you messed up for a 300 game, didn't you?
Yeah.
Well, Josh wins the award. The intern Josh coming in with that
Do I get a shirt?
bowling lane story.
Blown away.
Grief.
Beautiful. 6 months.
Yeah. 2 years. How long was it?
It was 2 years ago.
Sometime between 6 months and 2 years ago. It's wow.
We could probably do a whole segment on bowling alley injuries, but we won't. You can't top that one.
You have one?
You can't top
That's a tough one.